Okay, we're going to look at Cambridge IGCSE 0478/23, Paper 2, May/June 2023. Everybody. Okay, here is a question. Now, the very first thing is not to be daunted by it. Not to be daunted. It is quite doable. And the second thing is to read it a few times and mouth it out quietly to yourself. So that's what we'll do first of all. A two-dimensional 2D array contacts is used to store names and telephone numbers. All the data is stored as strings. The array must have the capacity to store 100 contacts in the form of column 1, contact names as last name, first name. For example, Smith, John. Column 2, telephone numbers. The variable current size shows how many contacts are in the array. Write a program that meets the following requirements. Display a menu of choices which should have the facilities to enter new contact details, display all the contact details, delete all the contact details. Validate the menu input. Allow up to a maximum of 5 new contacts to be added to the array at any one time. Do not allow more than 100 contacts in total. After new contacts have been added, sort the array by contact name as long as there are at least 2 contacts in the array. Output the whole of the array, delete the contents of the array. You must use pseudocode or program code and add comments to explain how your code works. You do not need to declare any arrays, variables or constants. You may assume that this has already been done. All inputs and outputs must contain suitable messages. You do not need to initialize the data in the array, contacts and the variable current size. Okay, I'm going to say to you, read this out a few times so that you understand what the output should look like. Now, the question as it stands asks you to write pseudocode or program code, and it asks you to write it on paper. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of program it so that you can make far more sense of it. And we're going to use program code, Python. And we are actually going to declare everything because you're going to write the code and it does not make any sense. And it's going to be very difficult to actually write it if you do not know what your variables actually look like. It's a false assumption to think when they say you don't need to do anything that they make your life easier. In fact, they make it a lot harder. Okay, so let us stop now. Now, you've been given half an hour to do this question, and you saw in the question that there were a lot of bullet points. But what we've done here is you take the question and then you can highlight the important points and you can enumerate the points. So you can see a two-dimensional 2D array contacts is used to store names and numbers, telephone numbers rather. All the data is stored as strings. I've put that in, highlighted it in, say, yellow. The array must have the capacity to store 100 contacts in the form of, it's in green. Column 1 and column 2 are highlighted. Then the information about the array current size is highlighted. So how many variables does it describe? Yes, 2. Contacts, which is a 2D array. We must be really familiar with 2D arrays with this particular syllabus. And current size, which shows how many contacts there are in the array. Then write a program that meets the following requirements. Now all these were given in bullet points. can you see we've actually put numbers to them? 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the other points we've also put numbers to them: 9, 10, 11, 12. And this makes it helpful, so when you write the program you can refer to the points to see that you've actually covered the points. Okay, let us start. Which point do we start at? Well, we start with the point, write a program that meets the following requirements. We start with the menu of choices. And can you see that there are 3 menus of choices? Enter new contact details, display all the contact details, and delete all the contact details. So let's do 3 functions for that. So add contact, and for the moment we'll put the parameters blank and we'll just have pass. So here we're expected to comment, so we'll comment adding new contact details. Right, the next one is display all contact details. So let's do this. Display all contact details. Notice that we are just sort of doing the structure of it. So here, if we do def display contacts and then we pass, and here we have, what's the last one? Delete all contact details. No, we're just doing the shell at the moment. Def delete contacts. Oops. And then we just do the shell. And then, later on we're going to put in parameters if needed and code if needed. Now, we also have here, I'm going to say remember we have 2 arrays. So if we go up back here and, oops, okay, we can't see these 2 arrays here, but we do have 2 arrays. Remember, we have contacts, which is a 2-dimensional array, but we'll just define it here as blank. And remember, initially the current, we don't have anything in the contacts, so current size equals 0, and here I'm going to put here initializing variables. Okay, now after we've done that, let us do the menu. So here, menu to choose, because we are expected to put comments. So let's call this def menu. And then, now, we'll see later why we're going to put this, but put while true. And then we'll put print menus. So this will, when it's run, it will print the word menu there. And then what we will do is the print, what do you think we'll put here? 1, enter new contact details. What do you think we'll put here? 2, display all contact details. And what do you think we'll put here? Print 3, delete all contact details. And then we should probably have an exit here, just for sake of completeness, exit. Okay, then what do we do here? Prompt user for choice. So we are asking the user to enter their choice. So choice equals input, and what should we just say? Enter your choice. Now remember, I am programming this here to kind of make it more coherent and complete. You'll be writing it out at the moment in pen on your exam paper, but you know, it's the same here. Now what do we do here? Okay, let's just take a bit of a break. Let us continue now. Now choice equals input, enter your choice. So you can enter 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us concentrate on 1. So if you want to enter a new contact, how many contacts can you enter? Yes, it's 100. So let's see it here. So if you want to enter a new contact and there are more than you want to enter the 101st one, it won't let you allow you to do that. So check if the list is full before adding a new contact. So now what's the variable that counts the number of contacts? It's current size. Now if current underscore size is greater than equal to, what should it be? 100. But we're actually going to test this program, and we don't want, for our testing purposes, we're just going to limit it to 3. So, but you put in 100 there. So this 3 should actually be 100. So remember that, and you probably get a mark for that. So if the current size is greater than 100, but we've put 3 for the testing purposes, I've got here print. Can you add a new contact? No. So cannot add more contacts because the array is full. And then you continue. Now what is this about continuation? This phrase continue means that it goes back up to line 20 while true, and it displays that menu bar again. But if, for example, it's not full, what do? It prompts the user for contact details. And what contact details do you prompt it for? Name equals input. What do you do here? Enter contact name. And what do we enter? Last name and first name. Okay. Right. And what else do you enter? Telephone equals, what do you say? Input, enter a telephone number. And then you've entered your first name and last name, you've entered the telephone number. What do you do here? You call the function which adds the contacts. So you call the add contact function. And how do we call this add contact function? We say add contact, and then we pass in the parameters name and telephone. So we go back up here, add contact, and because you've passed in name and telephone, what we put in here is name and telephone. So can you see we're building it up there? Now let's continue with this. Now it says, in the script that we sort the contacts lists alphabetically. So let's just have some code for sorting. So sort the contacts list alphabetically if there are at least 2 contacts. It's mentioned in the sort of question that you have to do this. So if current underscore size, what would that be? Greater than equal to 2. And this here in Python is the code for sorting it. Now you may or may not know this, but I'll put it in here. Contacts dot sort, and if you don't know this, just put in here in your script, sort the contacts list alphabetical if there are 2 contacts, and just put code here. So lambda and x. Don't worry about this particular code here. I don't know if you're really expected to know this, but I've put it in for the sake of completeness, and you make a reference in your script about it. So that's taking care of adding a contact. Now what's the next one? Display all your contacts. So if choice equal to, what do? You call which function? The display contacts function. And so we'll just do here display contacts. Okay, we'll leave it at that now. Now what happens here? If choice equals 3, so you want to delete all the contacts, you call the function delete contacts. And then elif, so just choice, just making it tidy for, what do? You exit the program. And I'm putting this here for the sake of tidiness and completeness, and program print exiting program break. Else, if you haven't typed in 1, 2, 3, 4, what do you say? You handle the invalid input, handle invalid input, and you just say print invalid choice, please choose again. So, and then what do you do here? You have, this is the menu function that you call first of all, so you need a command calling it. So therefore command to call menu and start program. Oops, so much typing here. Menu like that. Okay, so that's it. So let's look at the function of adding a contact. Now what I'm going to put here is global current underscore size. So therefore this is defining current underscore size as a global variable that can be seen all across the whole program, just to make sure. So let's add the name and the telephone to the contacts. So if I say contacts dot append name telephone, and then what do? We increment the current size because we've added the the contact. So current size equals current size plus 1, because it's the number of contacts. And then you can say something like print contact added successfully. And I'll get rid of the pass there. Okay, now let's put the put the code to display all the contact details. I'm just going to put here global current size because we kind of need it. Now, if there's no contacts in the list, check if no contacts in list, and then obviously if there are no contacts, there's nothing to display. So if current underscore size equals 0, what do we print? Print no contacts to display. And then maybe we sort of return to the main menu. Otherwise, what do? Print contacts. Now here we're going to write a for loop to display the contacts. So for contact in contacts, print, and I'll put here name and contact 0, because that's the sort of first name and or last name and surname, a space there, and then telephone, here, comma, and then contact 1. So in array 0 the name is stored, and in array 1 of contact the telephone number is stored, and that's it. So this this code here iterates of the array contacts and to display it, and then we delete all contacts. So how can we do that? Well, we can okay, what I'm going to do here is global current size I'm going to put global contacts because we also going to deal with it. So contacts has got sort of things in it. It's got data in it, but we're going to clear it just like that. See, contacts equals open bracket, close bracket. So we just empty it, and then current size is now 0 because there is nothing in the contacts. So we redefine it like that, and then we'll say print all contacts successfully deleted. And there you have it. Okay, here we are back again, and what I've done is I've tested the program, and there were some syntax errors which I have corrected, but we have the bones of it, and the syntax errors I corrected was L if choice equal 4. There's a, there was a quotation mark there and a colon there. What else did I correct? Okay, so here I didn't have if choice equals 1, and then you go into the code like that. And can you see that the rest of it is indented here? And then the third syntax error here, I had written the word break incorrectly. Suffice to say, with those corrections, it does actually work. Having said this, you will be writing it out by hand, and if you have the structure correct, you will be getting the marks. Last but not least, just for the sake of completeness, let's just see this working. Enter your choice. Enter new contact details. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Let's enter last name. Let's put Smith. First name David. And enter telephone number 111. Okay, let's enter a second choice here. 1. And let enter contact details. Put last name Bara and Alex. Telephone number 222. Let's try and enter a third person. 1. And let's put last name Jones and first name, say, Jane. And 333. Let's try and add a fourth person, or rather enter new contact details. Let's say KKK. Oops. It says, can you see? We've tried to add a fourth person. Cannot add more contacts. Array is full because it can only add 3. In the question it says 100, but we're testing it. We're just testing 3. Now display all the contact details too. So can you see here? It's displayed and it's kind of sorted in terms of alphabetically in terms of surname. Bara Alex, Bara Jones Smith, and it's given the telephone numbers of them. Now let's delete everything. 3. And now let's try and display. Can you see? No contacts to display. It's deleted everything. And let's just exit. So that is it really. And if you go back to your question, you'll see that everything, all the boxes have been ticked. Well done. Last but not least, we go back to the actual question itself, reread it and check that we have got everything in our program that the question requires. Good luck.